Hola, ¿qué tal? Qué bueno que están con nosotros. El día de hoy vamos a aprender las letras que son la H, la X, la V y la W o W. These letters are different and they don't really follow like the same patterns that we have learned before, and that's why I classify them all together. So we're going to begin with the H, la H. La H es muda. La H en español is mute. So that means that we don't pronounce the H. And for example, here, I've mentioned this before, that the difference between saying hola spelled with H and the hola without the H is that you say wave, hola, or you say hello. So that's an example. So we say hueso, for example, here, yellow, that means eyes, and we just don't pronounce it. We just don't pronounce it. So remember, right now we're just talking about the H is mute, H, and some examples here. We could talk about haber, that's a verb, helado, hielo, hola, Hugo. Hugo, that's a name. Hugo. And remember that the difference here is, yes, we said that it's mute, but when we combine the H, la H, with the C and the S, makes this sound ch, 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 sh, 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 sh. This sound, SH, is not that common in Spanish. Sh, 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 sh. Saying that, some words that are come from the Nahuatl, they also say that they are also pronounced with that sound in the sh. Saying that, the one that we really have in, especially in Mexico, is this sound, the ch, 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 ch. So remember, haber, helado, hielo, hola, you. So just don't pronounce it. It's mute, which is a little bit confusing because then with the J's, with the J, you pronounce it as an H in English, and I understand why it could be confusing. But just remember that H in Spanish, mute. Let's go with the next one. Here. Now let's go with the X. So the X, it's a very interesting letter in Mexico, especially because we have three pronunciations. Actually, we have four pronunciations in Mexico now that I think about it. And I'm going to add it here. We have four pronunciations. With the X, we pronounce it as a x, 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 like a K and an S. X, 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 x. We pronounce it as a J. That means that, like como J, that means that sounds like an H in English. Ha, 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 ha. Also like an S, just like an S, 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 or like an SH. Sh, 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 sh. And we're going to see some examples here. So with the sound KS or KS, that's the most common one. And those are the words, for example, anexa, sexenio, axila, dislexia, sexto, conexión. X, 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 x. So what you do basically is that you pronounce like a K, 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 and then you add an S. X, 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 x. Anexa, sexenio, axila, dislexia, sexto, conexión. Now let's try with the J pronunciation, con la J, ja, 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 ja. Remember that that's the H pronunciation in English. J, ja, ja, ja. Estos son topónimos. This is what we call topónimos because they used to be spelled with a J before, and then the spelling changed at some point in the history of Spanish, especially in Mexico. And then they remain the same pronunciation. So for example, Jimenez, Mexico, that's the right pronunciation, Mexico, Oaxaca, Texas, Jalapa. As you can see, most of them are country, well, we're talking about the country or cities, and they remain the same original pronunciation, topónimos. Jiménez, Mexico, Oaxaca, Texas, Jalapa. So it's wrong to pronounce in Spanish, Mexico. You say Mexico, Mexico. Now let's go with the SH. The SH, this is again a pre-Hispanic pronunciation. Remember that our Spanish in Mexico is strongly influenced by Nahuatl. So all of these words that you're going to see here, they are actually, they come from the Nahuatl. We have Xoloitzcuintli, 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 which is a dog. Xola, Xicalango, Xoloitzcuintli, 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 Xola, 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 Xicalango, Xicalango, Xicalango. I do have to say that there are not that many words, so don't worry, don't panic. And then we have the pronunciation as an S. Xochimilco, Xochitl. Xochimilco and Xochitl. Xochimilco, Xochitl. These words, they are very popular in Mexico. I'm not quite certain how they're used in the rest of Latin America. Probably in Central America, they also have words with these letters, because even though the Nahuatl wasn't spoken in those areas, they did have other dialects like the Maya. So probably they do have some words like that, and they still use them in their daily vocabulary. For example, for us, Cholescuintli in Mexico, that's a very common word because it's a dog. It's a type of dog. It's a, how do you say, like a raza del perro. Xochimilco, it's a place in Mexico. Chola, it's a place in Mexico. Oaxaca, it's a state. Mexico, well, it's the country. So you see what I mean, right? So this is like very important in Mexico. I'm not quite certain about other countries, but it's important that you understand where the pronunciation and the difference they come from. Most of the words that you are going to find and you are going to use, they're going to have this pronunciation, the KS, anexa, sexenio, axila, dislexia, sexto, conexión, and all of those words, okay? So now let's go with the next one. La V, labiodental. So we learned this one when we were learning the first letters, the bilabiales, and we learned that in some countries in Latin America, we don't really differentiate between one and the other, and we just pronounce beso, vaca. But in some countries, they do, and they pronounce this as a labiodental. Labio means your lip, and dental, that's referring to your teeth. So we pronounce it with your lips and your teeth. It's similar to the way that you pronounce the F. It's just that the lip goes in a different position than with F. The vaca, verdad. Vaca, verdad, tuvieron. You see? It's different. So, examples: vaca, vecina, vino, vocales, vuela. Vaca, vecina, vino, vocales, vuela. As I said before, some people in some countries, they just pronounce it equally, just both lips. Vaca, vecina, vino, vocales, vuela. And we have the W, la W. La W is the same than in English, pretty much the same. And actually, this is a letter that doesn't really exist in Spanish. And most of the words that we have, they actually come from English. And we just have regionalized those words. Whiskey, Walter, web, Wi-Fi, waffle. So now please do your syllables pause it here.